I think you're going to be really surprised how few people say, you know what's really worrying me here in Inverell today? An integrity commission.
Which one integrity commission are you committing to it?
Well, you asked me about priorities, and I'll talk about what my priorities are. Jobs, 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 and jobs.
As the Prime Minister and his deputy have campaigned around the country, they've repeatedly downplayed voter interest in a federal anti-corruption watchdog and attacked the model used in New South Wales.
I'm not going to introduce a kangaroo court.
But despite their desire to portray this as a niche issue, there is anger that an independent institution is being so publicly derided, even drawing a rare rebuke from a current ICAC commissioner.
Those buffoons who have repeatedly described this commission as a kangaroo court, I would say three things. First, it is deeply offensive. Second, there are vast differences between the functions of the commission and a court, as the Chief Commissioner has pointed out. Third matter, I should say, is to make uninformed comments that this commission is a kangaroo court has a real capacity to undermine the commission's work and, just as importantly, public confidence in public administration.
The next day, the New South Wales Premier joined the pushback against the Prime Minister.
When we do have opinions and we do raise concerns, we need to do so in a way that doesn't undermine confidence in our integrity agencies.
And today, even the Treasurer didn't fully back in the PM.
Would you use the words kangaroo court to describe that body?
I would use different words.
But Scott Morrison had already doubled down in a newspaper interview, claiming the unintended consequences of an ill-thought-through integrity commission are very dangerous, and warning it could make Australia some kind of public autocracy with faceless officials wielding too much power.
Firstly, your reaction to being called a buffoon, and secondly, is this why Josh Frydenberg has said that he would choose his words differently when describing ICAC to the way that you've described it?
Well, I stand by what I've said about why I don't think that model is a good model for the federal jurisdiction. He can say whatever he likes. He can say whatever he likes. I'm not easily offended.
It is still unclear precisely what Scott Morrison actually means by the term public autocracy. His team did not respond to 730's request for clarification, but the phrase sounds scary, and quite a few people think that's probably the point.
I think it's a rubbish phrase that doesn't really mean anything at all, and it's designed to scare the public away from a body which would hold this government to account and to prevent the misuse of taxpayers' money in these enormous grant schemes which the government presently is using.
The Prime Minister promised to introduce a corruption watchdog ahead of the last election. But the opposition and crossbench wouldn't back his proposal, which did not allow for public hearings for politicians, like those faced by former New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian, and the proposal was never voted on.
It is not something that is trying to trial people in the media. It's not about who your boyfriend is or things like that.
The Prime Minister refused to modify that legislation to make it fit for purpose. This entirely sits in the hands of Scott Morrison. He walked away from establishing a robust Federal Integrity Commission, and the people of Australia can only be left with one question, and that is, why is the Prime Minister so afraid of scrutiny?
Scott Morrison today said any commission should be focused on finding criminal behaviour rather than looking at whether taxpayer cash is being used to pork barrel or win over marginal electorates. But integrity campaigners like former Supreme Court Judge Stephen Charles say a corruption watchdog must be able to examine grant programs such as the sports rorts scandal.
The coalition's model is a sham. It is designed to ensure that politicians are not investigated for misconduct in public spending.
The PM has made it very clear he does not want to compromise, arguing there are more state than federal portfolio responsibilities that are open to corruption, things such as development approvals or liquor licences, though some federal MPs don't think that's a good enough reason not to have a watchdog.
I think what we're all absolutely sick and tired of is the politicisation of grants, public money used for party political gain. That's not okay. It's not okay on any level.
If elected, the opposition is vowing it'll legislate a powerful commission before the end of the year.
This Prime Minister just dismisses any integrity issues. What is very clear is that if Australians want a national anti-corruption commission and to clean up politics, they need a Labor government to do so.
A few Liberals facing challenges from Labor or high-profile independents today told 7:30 the Prime Minister's language was not particularly helpful to their cause. Data from the ABC's Vote Compass survey shows nearly half, or 49%, of all Australians think that corruption in this country is very much a problem. It certainly isn't the most important issue in many voters' minds, but a number of marginal seat MPs in the government are aware it's one they can't simply ignore.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.